What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another comic video. In today's video, I wanted to do a couple things. Firstly, I wanted to break down how the Shang Chi comic, his first appearance, is doing post the movie's release. That's been about 2 months after release, and also really what spurred this video was, there's been kind of some talk on, when is a good time to get in on a spec, on a key, when there's an announcement of a movie or project, and if it's worth doing it after the announcement. I know a lot of people, there's some chatter out there that maybe you should be getting, I guess you could say, reading the tea leaves and doing your own research, and having knowledge of comic books and where the direction of the MCU is going, and then do your spec and buying then. But then the problem with that is, if it doesn't come to fruition, then maybe you wasted money. Or I guess one of the big ones, I guess for me, would be, we were supposed to see Mephisto and nothing yet. So all the people that spent the 8K for like a high grade copies, probably didn't pan out. Another one would be if it's just pure speculation and no anything, such as the Madam Slay book. I'm sure if anybody looked at Jungle Action number 18, I'm sure that's probably tanked because we haven't heard anything about the Madam Slay casting, or if even Madam Slay is going to be in there. But anyway, I wanted to take a break, like an in-depth breakdown with the numbers, and also give a little perspective because of when I got in and where I'm at with all this. So what we'll do right now is take a look at some numbers. There's gonna be some minutia here, some numbers stuff, but the graph here, you can see there are some, I guess I would like to say, these are the benchmarks of when you would look at a book. So for special Marvel edition number 15, the first appearance of Shang Chi, we're only going to look at a CGC 9.4 because that's what I have, and we'll be looking at this more in depth. But also because a 9.8 is just really kind of out of reach at this point, right? But before the announcement, which was in just a second here, the movie was announced on December 1st, 2018, or there around. And before that, an average book for 9.4 CGC was about $200. And it was a baseline at that for a while. And then once the announcement was made by Disney, Marvel, Kevin Feige, the book more than doubled. And you could see it went up to $487 after the announcement. This is the month of December. And there were 20 copies sold as opposed to like 1 or 2 a month. This one was 20 right away. And after that, the casting announcement was in July 2019. And then that was another bump. Just keep in mind, up until the casting announcement, the price has been steadily increasing, because once the announcement is hitting, or once the announcement hits, people will start, specking, buying, because that's almost like ground level. And then the casting announcement, at that point, it bumped again. So you could see it went up to $1,307. And then between the casting announcement, and when I say casting announcement, it's usually either like a writer, director, as well as the cast, and just basically any news after the initial announcement of the project or movie. There's, I like to call it the lull in between the casting announcement and the movie trailer, the first movie trailer, teaser. Now it's teaser, and then there's a regular trailer, which, that could be a separate landmark in itself. But you could see it dipped down to $770. But at that point, you could see it's already higher than before the announcement and after the announcement. So that's now the new benchmark, or I'm sorry, that's the new floor that you'll get in, because that is the lowest valley, I guess you could say, for this book, was $770. So you had between, of course, it's a long time because the pandemic, but from July 2019 all the way up until April 2021, which is almost 2 years, you could have gotten this book for under $1,000 fairly easily on average. Then once the movie trailer hit on April 2021, it spiked big time. Went up to $2,829 on average, with a high sale of $3,605. So that's pretty crazy. And then, when they do the trailer, there's usually, months in between again. So the movie comes out almost 5 months later. So once the trailers start really hitting, the second trailer, the TV spots, the little vignettes, featurettes, whatever, then there starts to be another, the groundswell will start to happen again. It did dip a little bit, but if you look, by the time the movie came out, an average sale of a 9.4 was $2,364. So that's a drop, but you can see where it was before. That's still really, really high. And then if you look at 2 months later, which is basically now, 60 days after the release, it's down to $1,850. Now, that's basically the new. This will probably drop a little bit more, but because Shang Chi is going to be a persisting character, he's going to have a second movie, he'll be appearing in multiple projects. They might even do a spin-off on the Ten Rings show with his sister. I don't see this dropping, really below, what, 1,500? Oh, it's probably going to be, still going to stay up there. It depends on how much we see him, because now this is going to be one of those big bronze grails for the MCU. And looking at the next graph here, let's just take a look. You can see the percentages. After the announcement, the book went up 143.5%. And then when the casting announcement, it went up 168%. And this is all from... Now, the numbers here are coming from the previous number. So, for example, after the announcement, it went from $200 to $487. So that went up to 143%. Then from there, it went up to $1,307. So that's an increase of another 168.37%. And then the lull in between, it dropped down to $770. So it dropped down 41%. And then when the movie trailer hit, it really spiked 267.4%. Then, leading to the release, it dropped 16%. And then now 2 months later, it's down 21% from that. So when is the best time to get in? Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory here, but let's just look at the little Excel pic we have here. The best time to get in, obviously, as most people know, is when right before the movie trailer hits, because there's a lull, so you can get it for the lowest. Of course, you're not going to get it as low as it was when the movie was announced or before the announcement, but there will be a big spike when the trailer hits. Obviously, the best time to get in is when the movie is announced, because that's when you'll get the highest return if you were to sell it. But you can still get in all the way up until right before the trailer. So if you're, because the lull in between is when everything starts to drop a little bit, because everybody, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, onto the next thing. But then when the trailer hits, boom, everything's going to come up again. So if you can basically figure out when the trailer is going to come out, you have all the way up until then. What's the interesting thing is you kind of want to get in even before they announce that there's a trailer coming, which is really weird, because now there's trailer coming in 2 weeks, trailer coming this Friday. It's like a trailer for a trailer. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, the lull in between is probably the last chance you could get in. If you can't get in before the announcement, right after the announcement, the casting announcement, lull in between is the next best thing. I would even say getting the casting announcement is probably not that good, because everybody is focused on that. So you can see the number here, 1307 average if you're getting it during right after the casting announcement, and then the lull in between is 770. So you want to give it some time. maybe a few months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you know, because normally it's going to take them maybe a year, year and a half, 2 years before they're going to release a trailer. Then when the leading up to the release, it's going to dip again, but it's still going to be really high. You can see here, it's the second highest number here at $2,364. That's second highest peak next to the $2,829 from when the movie trailer was released. And then the next time would be to get in if you know that it's going to be a long-term thing, like a long-term spec, like Shang Chi is going to be out for a while. You know, you want to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 months. You know, I would even go so far as 6, maybe even a year, depending on if he doesn't have any more appearances. But you know, waiting a few months after the movie is released, you can get it at below, much lower than it was at the movie release. I'm sorry, yeah, movie release and movie trailer. You can see here's $1,850. Now, when is the best time to sell? Well, obviously, you can see here the best time to sell would be the trailer, because you'll get the highest percentage if you were getting in during the movie announcement and you sold it if you got it at the movie announcement and you sold it during the right after the movie trailer, you know, you get a 480% return, which is basically a $2,342 return, that's the best selling option. And if you can just wait basically 28 months, so you know, think about it, you're waiting about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, and you're getting 500% return. It's pretty good. And then the next time would be after the casting announcement. Then you sell it during the release, you're still getting over 385%. Even when you're getting in on the casting announcement, you're still getting pretty good return, you know, over $1,000. The lull is still obviously the next best thing. And then the worst time to get in would be when the movie trailer is from the movie trailer to release, and then the movie trailer until afterwards. It's probably not the good time, because you're losing quite a bit from selling. Sorry, this is selling, not getting in, selling. But let's look at my actual purchase that I did. So I acquired this book. I came in really late. I got in on March 19th of 2021. So this was right before, about a month before the trailer. And I paid $1,915. So if I were to sell this right when the trailer was released at an average of that $2,829, I would have gained $914 from this, about thereabouts, and would have gotten a 32.31% return in 1 month. That's pretty good. Even though I got in really late, you could see I got in after so if you look at on the chart here, I got in after the casting announcement and the lull in between, but I got in closer to the movie trailer, because like there were rumblings that the movie trailer was already going to be coming out, so people have been already starting to spec on the book again. So that's what started, right? So I got in on the tail end of it. If I just gotten in earlier, then I would have gotten in for maybe $1,000. But either way, if I decided to sell it, I would have gotten, you know, $900 from it. Now, the reason why I didn't is because I think this has room to grow. I know some people out there, they don't like that term because of it's like a misnomer, misconception, and whatnot. However, that's a saying for a reason, because when things are given time to grow, it's going to mature, it's going to grow, it's going to gain. So I believe when the second movie comes out, when he appears in Avengers or another movie project, this will go back up again to that $2,800, $2,900, $3,000 mark when he becomes, if I guess would be the proper term, proper word, if he becomes a staple in the MCU, kind of like how Loki was Loki came in as like a villain, secondary character, antagonist, and then became a protagonist. And then now Loki's just a fixture in the MCU. So his first appearance has gone way up and is now a holy grail. Likewise, if Shang-Chi goes that same route where he's introduced and then he becomes a fixture and then it just becomes part of the MCU pantheon, then this book will definitely go back up and stay there, so. And keep in mind, this is still a Bronze Age book, so that's still that has something going for it, because it's not a modern book, which there's a lot of. This older book, harder to get, so it is a 9.4 or even higher if you can. That's really good. So yeah, so basically the conclusion is you can get in even after the announcement. You can get in all the way up until right before the movie trailer. Like in my case, I got in right before the movie trailer, a month before, and I still would have gained $900 or so if I sold it when it came out. So don't let people out there tell you otherwise, that you can't make some money on this. Now, keep in mind that it's got to be books like this. It can't be some kind of like a lower level spec, I guess, secondary character. It's got to be something main. Like I guess the next one would probably be Shuri, because she's going to be a main character. Same with Riri Williams. So you're going to have to look at those. Those are going to be like skyrocketing, because those are going to be long-term characters. So we could look at that when it gets around to it too. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe. We're getting really close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. I'll be doing more videos, and I have a pretty big acquisition, comic collection acquisition. It's coming in piecemeal, so it's my first like big purchase as I got into or back into comics. So all right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.